Hi, my name is Jan Rognerud. I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Optimizing Your Website with Entrepreneur Press and McGraw-Hill, out in the bookstores now. I am excited that you're here. Freaky Friday footage. Welcome you all. Happy Friday, July 19th here. Hope you are doing well. If you're coming in live stream, thank you so much. Always glad to have you. And if you're listening on Media and Marketing Podcast, always super duper welcome to you as well. And by the way, thank you for all the love. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for sharing, commenting, subscribing, all of the good stuff. The more love that goes around, the more we all get it. That is how I think about these things. So today, what I'm showing you here is super duper exciting, because if you are doing anything with Facebook ads, you surely have heard about what we're going to be covering today. And you for sure have implemented it in such a way that you have been successful, I hope. But as you have learned over the many months that we've been together, and as I talk about here on these broadcasts, the Facebook ads, while super exciting from a self-serve perspective, and the fact that they have the ads manager available to you, and you can do so much with creatives and messaging and positioning and targeting and you name it, it's also super frustrating because they don't always work. In fact, most campaigns out the gate don't work. And even if you've done great work in setting this up, if you have had some level of success, which I know a number of you have, and you're scaling up, lookalike audiences, which I'm covering today, is going to be exactly what you need. So let's dig into it here. So we're going to cover how to create a Facebook lookalike in Friday footage. That's when I go through and I demo more in detail what you can do with some of these techniques and strategies. Friday footage is uniquely tied to this walkthrough, but as you have learned, I do come out live here and show you a lot of stuff during the week as well. So Friday footage is just a cute name at this point, because you could get a great demo on a Tuesday. So please come back and watch that out on the good old interwebs. And by the way, before I continue, if you'd like to learn more, you can head on out to my website, johnrognerud.com, or you can head on out to chaosmap.com. That's the agency side. Either way, we'll be happy to set up an appointment with you or a time to speak to see if we can help you. And also just a quick note, if you are in Los Angeles on July 23rd, which is in a few days, we have it's a small kind of exclusive, but very cool and fun, lunch and learn. It's over in El Segundo at the Cross Campus there, and it's going to be at 11:30 a.m. If you want to stop over, let me know, and I will get you a ticket, a sign up, if you will. It's totally free, and you get some pizza and some goodies along the way. All right. Well, hey, thanks for that. We are looking at a screen which we modeled from, forget where we actually got this, but doesn't matter. We want to just give you a brief visual representation of what a lookalike audience is and what it is for Facebook specifically. So within Facebook, you have abilities to create targets. And we know these targets can be specified by certain attributes, behaviors, demographics, locale, right? So where they're located. All of this essentially goes into match what we talk about a lot here, what I talk about specifically, which is your demographic. It's Tom and Jane, right? Who is your Tom and who is your Jane? And there could be several of them, right? I mean, ultimately, you want to have one person that you are talking with, that you're speaking to. But at the end of the day, the group of people that you bucket in should be the most targeted, the most specific that you can, because your messaging and your positioning statements, everything that you do will allow you to talk directly to that person. In fact, you probably have seen marketing messages that suddenly appear on Facebook that almost like, hey, they are talking to me. How did they know I was thinking this right now at this moment? Well, they've done a good job in trying to find out who their Tom and their Jane is for their market, right? But that gets into a much wider discussion. We're not going to cover that here today. We're going to cover lookalike audiences, which simply put are modeled profiles from an existing source. So here we can see, if you're coming in live here, I can see if a couple of you are on here already. There are what we call observed profiles. These are ones that I said is your Tom and Jane's that you have developed as your attraction audience, if you will. Those are the folks that you want to present your message to, and not the whole wide world, but a specific segment of your perfect client, customer, or patient, depending on which industry you're in. Then based on that, you have the ability to set up what's called a lookalike audience, which basically models out additional profiles that match your Tom and Jane, but on a much larger scale. You can go, kind of start with, as you'll see here in a second, you can start with the lower end of the spectrum for lookalike audiences, or you can go all the way up to, 20 plus million, depending on your base here. And you'll see more of this here in a second. The whole idea, though, is a profound one, and it's this. If you have proven your model to work within your observed group of people, then this expansion out to your new modeled people is going to be one that really allow you to scale up and to continue to test audiences and buckets and segments within the auction. As you know, Facebook is an auction where the best win, but also the best win in terms of what the algo can serve you from your audiences, from your Toms and Janes, right? So hopefully that's a decent explanation of what this means and what it is and how that can really help you. So let's dig in by showing you how to set this up. So you want to be inside what's called a Facebook Manager. We come across clients or prospects quite often who don't quite know what that is, or they've set up something in their personal profile. That's not what it is. It should be business.facebook.com. And then you set it up there. Once you're in here, you'll see something that looks like this. And the way to get there, by the way, is under the hamburger menu here. You head on over to assets and audiences, and then this shows up. So if you haven't set anything up already, it'll be simply just 3 buttons here. It's blank. Essentially, there's nothing, no lookalike audiences, nothing has been set up. And to get started, to develop a set of audiences where you can reach new people who are similar to your Toms and Janes that you already have proven to work, then you can do that here. So simply what we do is create a lookalike audience, hit that button, and you want to select from an existing source. And so they've changed this a little bit over time here, Facebook has. It used to be just, one option and selected. Now they have value-based sources and other sources, right? So the value-based sources, it's what's called LTVs. This is really how, they look at your most valuable sources and then expand from there, right? So this is where you can look at people who have purchased already and looking at how much they spend and build out profile from that. So that's obviously, it's the exact term here, value-based, right? It means that they have done something that's positive to your business in terms of a transaction. But if you don't have this, then ultimately what you can do is just simply select other sources, which is fine. And we can just pick one here. Let's see. We'll go ahead and pick this one. Hopefully there's something here. What I'm doing is step one is I'm selecting your lookalike source. And if you remember from the previous, we had a base of the Tom and the Janes, right? Toms and Janes. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we want to find more of those on a much larger scale. So we're going to pick the base source here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to browse to the location, countries and regions. So you can expand quite heavily here into obviously an international landscape. We're just going to select countries, North America and United States. See that? And then number of lookalike audiences. You can create a lot of these. And the truth is, if you're first starting out and you've proven out your model, you don't want to go wild on this and add too many. I mean, you can add them here at this moment. You just want to prove this out. So we're going to start out with a 1% lookalike audience. And that's what you see here, which is a group of 2.2 million new people or a block of people. But it doesn't mean that they're all perfect. You're still going to have to sift and dissect and filter out through your advertising and through your testing within this group to find the ones that are perfect for your auction. But as you can see, as I scale this out, there's a lot of opportunities here. As I mentioned, 20 million plus. Here we see 21.6 million with a 10% lookalike audience, right? And these are going to vary for you. Like a 2% here is 4.3 million. And you might ask, hey, if there's so many and I want more of those, why not just blow it out to 10%? Well, you can test this, but also realize that your budget affects this. So if you're running at $5 a day into a 21.6 million people group in a lookalike audience where you haven't actually proven out your Toms and Janes in the initial source, you're basically wasting your time. So again, step one, make sure that you have proven out your source. When you're ready to expand out and you want to test more audiences, use that source because it's been proven through LTVs or other sources. Select your audience location, step 2 there, and select audience size number 3. And then you hit create source or create lookalike audience, I should say. And then it'll create. Now, in this case, it actually said it was too small. So let's go ahead and pick another one here. And let's go ahead and delete that. And let's go ahead and click one that I think there's more stuff in. Let's see here. Yeah, there might be more here. Let's click that. It could be a problem also. No, it was okay. Okay, so now it came in here and created a lookalike audience. And if you see here, it actually created one, which now it's saying populating. It's quite small, actually. So this is an old account. By the way, this populating bit, it's going to update over time. So if you see this number changing, then that's Facebook talking, thinking, aggregating, collecting, filtering, sorting, and adding. All of that stuff is happening in here. This actually turns out to be an old page that was out there. This is a test account as well. So, but anyway, this is basically just a very quick walkthrough of what this means for you, as I described it, how you actually set it up. It's very simple inside the Facebook Manager to use this existing source of people and model them out by expanding it into what's called a lookalike audience. So this is Jan Ragnerud, founder and creative director of chaosmap.com. If you'd like to talk to me directly, you can go out to my website, johnragnerud.com/calendar. We'll set up a time to go through these things. Or you can head on out to the agency, as I said, and really appreciate, once again, you coming out here and listening to these shows and these presentations. I love doing these, and it's just been a busy week, and we're actually moving. It's just a continual thing going on here. And so I appreciate you hanging with me. And so, hey, for today, go ahead and, take your best source and create a new lookalike audience and just simply run those existing ads against that new source and do nothing else, right? You may actually bump the budget up if you've proven it because you've already done it. You're sort of running out of meat to present or an audience to present your meat to, so to speak. And so you want to test that and start by creating lookalike audiences and then continue to develop those and then test them over time. Hi, my name is Jan Ragnerud. I'm the author of The Ultimate Guide to Optimizing Your Website with Entrepreneur Press and McGraw-Hill out in the bookstores now. I am excited that you're here.